Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We are officially in the run-in for the Premier League title. Arsenal entering this game 9 points clear of Manchester City, but it really feels much less than that. They win today, 12 points clear ahead of the Citizens as they play tomorrow versus Chelsea. Officially in... Oh, the audio looking very, very good. I cannot wait for this one. Bournemouth, a team that has, in recent times, got the better of the Gunners. And this is by no means an inevitable side or an invincible side. They've shown their frailties in recent times. And when you look at Ryan Christie and his Bournemouth side, they'll fancy a chance here versus this Gunners unit. Missing some key players, in particular, Bukayo Saka, Yuri and Timber. Martin Odegaard as well. No Calafiori either in this one here. So some key names missing, but the core remains the same. Declan Rice, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Martin Zubimendi. And those four, well, they're pivotal to what Arsenal do. Scoring and defending from set pieces, being solid with and without the football. Those four are the most important players. So it's very, very vital that those four are there. We'll get to team news in a little bit, as both teams have gathered in the tunnel and are ready to walk out onto the Emirates. This is a massive stage. Obviously, next week is the big one, Arsenal and Manchester City, but this one feels as big as almost every game will feel for Arsenal in the run-in. They can almost smell that Premier League touch. They're in touching distance of it, but not quite there yet. But a game like today is going to be massive. What can the Gunners produce? What can Bournemouth produce coming into this game? 11 unbeaten, 7 of which have been draws. Their last 5 games have all ended in draws. Some of those results there are quite incredible. 2-2 to United, 0-0 to Burnley, 0-0 to Brentford, 1-1 to Sunderland, and 0-0 to West Ham. So far from the most competitive sides they've gone up against. For Arsenal, this is the starting 11. David Raya in between the sticks. Ben White returns alongside Miles Lewis-Skelly, who makes a first Premier League start in a while at left back in the absence of Ricardo Calafiori. William Saliba and Gabriel, as always, are at the heart of the defence. In midfield, as I mentioned, it is as you expected with Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice taking the captain's armband today. Noni Madueke and Gabriel Martinelli play out wide. Means Kai Havertz is in the little pocket in behind Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal's top goal scorer this season. So the bench: Kepa Arrizabalaga, Christian Mosquera, Piero Hincapié, Gabriel Jesus Ebereche Eza, Christian Norgard, Leandro Trossard, Max Dalmond, and Marley Salmon. For Bournemouth, it's Georgi Petrovic in goal. Truffert and Jimenez continue as the two fullbacks. Those two have improved as the season's gone on. Marcos Senesi is back at his very best, returning from international duty with Argentina, with James Hill alongside him at the back. It's Alex Scott and Ryan Christie who captains the side once again in this one here. Junior Krupi returns to the 11, playing in behind Evan Nilsson, whilst it's Rayan and Marcus Tavernier on the flanks. Christos Mandas, the reserve goalkeeper, on the bench. David Brooks, Gannon Doak, Tyler Adams, Adam Smith, Diakite. Amin Adley drops to the bench. Toth alongside Enes Unal as well. So no Cook, no Clive, no Julio Soler. There's the gap on screen. Arsenal have a 9-point gap with a game extra play, but a chance to go 12 points clear of Manchester City. The biggest gap they've held at the top of the Premier League in recent times. This fixture ended 2-1 in favour of Bournemouth this time last campaign. Bournemouth did cause some problems for the Gunners in the return fixture this season, but in the end running out 3-2 winners thanks to a Declan Rice double. I did predict a 3-1 Arsenal win on the prediction video. I'm going to stay with that. I think we're going to get goals in this one here because this fixture never fails to deliver. 4 wins and 7 draws for Bournemouth in their 11-game unbeaten run. As North London forever reigns out at the Emirates. A lunchtime kickoff. Something to really be excited about. Mike Oliver returns from from European duty midweek to referee this matchup here. And we are almost ready to get this one underway. So all is in readiness. Do Arsenal keep their foot on the throat, or do they let recent hiccups disrupt their title run? We'll have to wait and see here. It is the Gunners taking on the Cherries. Lunchtime kickoff here. The Premier League run-in towards the title. It'll be Bournemouth kicking us off in their change blue and black strip from right to left. Arsenal in their traditional red from left to right. This is all the billings of one of the good ones. It's felt like an age since our last Premier League fixture. We're finally back, and what an opportunity here under the spring sunshine. The City fans are up. The Arsenal fans are up for this one here. Evan Nilsson's gone down behind the play. There's a bit of a coming together here. Evan Nilsson just cops the elbow from Gabriel, who's instantly gone to apologise. Two countrymen already meeting in this one here. So already a minute in. Welcome back to the Premier League. A stoppage. How about that Premier League ball there? Not too shabby, eh? Back underway with David Raya. That's going to be the storyline, though. What can the Gunners do today? Do they advance the game early on? Do they take the game to the Cherries? Or do they slowly grow into this one? Because, you know, Bournemouth are going to cause all sorts of problems. Especially with Junior Krupi, with Evan Nilsson. Ryan up top as well. Tavernier. Such dangerous players. They called Manchester United all sorts of problems on that Friday night fixture before the FA Cup and international breaks. Great quick throw taken, and Victor Gyökeres is in behind. Marcos Senesi over to meet him, and looked like that ball went out of play. And it did. That's poor from Gyökeres after doing the good work initially to get in behind. Wasted the opportunity by taking out of play. It's 1-0 win in the week for Mikel Arteta's side versus Sporting Lisbon. I hope that form can carry over into this one here. There's no promises, though, against a Bournemouth side that seem to always turn up in this fixture versus the Gunners. Marcel Skelly back into the side. Had a really weird 24 months. Wasn't probably in the thought process as the start of last season, then grew into it and took that role very well. And with injuries and suspensions, return of Calafiori in the starting 11, and Calafiori hasn't looked back since. Madueke careless giveaway. So here come Bournemouth, transitional play. Evan Nilsson slipped in looking for Junior Krupi. Gabriel shields that towards his goalkeeper, David Raya. So a little moment of worry there with Madueke giving the ball away on the halfway line, but bullet dodged for Arsenal. Raya. Already seen the intent on this right-hand side. Ben White and Madueke getting high up the pitch and want to advance the game as quickly as possible. Arsenal can be their own worst enemy in terms of slowing the game down too much at times. As Gabriel goes searching for Martinelli. Jimenez keeps that ball alive, but finds his teammate in Alex Scott. Marcel Skelly tracking him every step of the way. Two young Englishmen going at it. In the end, it's come off Jimenez and for the Arsenal throw. To the bemusement of Jimenez. The former Milan man. Now of AFC Bournemouth. No surprise, a Spaniard flourishing in the in the system of Andoni Iraola, who's been so promising for this Bournemouth side. And those fans here come today with some belief. I don't think they'd ever come in the past thinking they'd be able to get something at the Emirates, but as has been the recent performances and the last two campaigns, this side does punch above their weight. They've done it at the Bridge. They've done it at Old Trafford. They've done it at the Emirates already as well. Free kick given away in the box there, so it'll be Georgi Petrovic to recommence this one. So how's the mentality? How's the bottle of Arsenal? 2 cup defeats, halting that dream of a quadruple. Obviously the biggest one being that crazy surprise result, losing to Southampton 2-1 only last weekend. It's a great chance to silence those criticisms. Yes, they got the win midweek versus Sporting Lisbon, but the Premier League is obviously high on the agenda, in particular with recent history and Man City chasing quite ferociously, in recent times. Here's Scott feeding that into Ryan Christie. It's a careless giveaway. One back though by Aiden Trufair, and here come Bournemouth now. They won't have much time on the ball like they're normally used to, but sometimes that's when they play at their best. Senesi searching for and finding his Brazilian teammate and Evan Nilsson. That chest control. That's poor. Had to play for the Arsenal goal kick. That's what Senesi can do, though. Ben White gets away from the Tavernier challenge, so Arsenal remain on the football. Into Declan Rice. He's going to have a massive role today, as he does most weeks for Arsenal. But with the captain's armband today, can he stand up to the task? Keep this side progressing. Krupi fouling Ben White, but we're back underway with the quickly taken free kick, which Alec Jimenez does well with. Ryan away from the first and second challenges. The foul eventually called back. The Brazilian made a bright start to things, but hasn't quite hit his straps in recent games. Very talented player, but I was thinking maybe it'd be best for him to come off the bench in this one here. Trufair pressing, but able to dispossess the ever calm Saliba. Bournemouth have shown patches already, though. They can be a threat. And I want to be direct with their possession. I've already seen that. Trying to feed in Evan Nilsson, Ryan, and company. Ben White does well to keep that alive. Now with William Saliba. It's a great take from Havertz, and he's fouled by Marcos Senesi, who's halted the start of play, and that normally leads to a yellow card. He's got away with on that. Arteta furiously charging on the touchline. That's a searching ball. James Hill's got Gyökeres for company, and he's done that very well. Big game for Hill and Senesi. They've almost got 2 to work with Havertz and Gyökeres both sort of being natural centre forwards or false nines that can be fluid and rotate up there. Got to have their hands full. Here's Trufair. The man that often forces the issue for them on the left-hand channel will get up the pitch and probably not to the same level of Milos Kerkez of last season, but definitely one of the more progressive fullbacks in the division. Senesi turns out of trouble. Fantastically well done by the Argentine. It's Marcus Tavernier. He's got Krupi and Evan Nilsson. So Bournemouth sort of match Arsenal with the 2 fluid centre forwards as well. It's going to be interesting. 2 systems very similar. 2 teams I like to play as well. Here's Alec Jimenez. Cutting inside, finding Tavernier. The extra pass for Trufair. Can he get a ball into the area? At this point in time, Tavernier. A spell for possession here for Bournemouth. That dink pass finds Tavernier. Now Vanilson. And Gabriel just enough to put him under enough pressure to miscontrol the ball there. But already 10 minutes in, Bournemouth have had their fair share of possession and their fair share of chances as well. And this press is, as ever, at big away games, fantastic. Gyökeres, his first touch just got away from him and allowed James Hill back into the equation. There's a sense of real pressure building around the Emirates. The fans are up for it, but you can equally say the fans are putting pressure on this Arsenal side. Ben White's taking an age over this throw. Frustration building with Arsenal fans. Eventually finds Gabriel. There's an absolute age on the throw there for Ben White. Already seen the man-to-man of Bournemouth causing the Gunners some problems. Senesi winning that duel versus Havertz. Rice the 50-50 in the midfield, but not on the same page as Martinelli, and Rayan across to make the interception. Scott, Krupi. Great season for Junior Krupi this campaign. He'll look to continue that goal-scoring form. 9 goals from the teenagers, the most since 2000. And King. That's not the best from Petrovic. But they have got threats up there. Evan Olsen lugs a big goal in a big game. Ben White continues to struggle to get the ball back into play. Here's Scott. This right-hand side has so much danger for Bournemouth with Rayan and Jimenez. Such aggressive, progressive players. Equally can be said of his left-hand side. And it's true fair that's just tangled with Noni Madueke. He's done well to cover off that. Massive game for him, deputising in the spot of Bukayo Saka, who is a player that would be massive in a game like this. With a team like Bournemouth, who, if they do go man-to-man, there is opportunity and spaces in 1v1s. That's when you know Bukayo Saka can thrive and flourish. Havertz, Madueke, Gyökeres steaming on beyond him. He's made that run to the channel and he's been found by Madueke. The cutback's great. Jimenez in the way and the Emirates crowd responds to that. Lifting in noise, lifting in voice. Great run for Victor Gyökeres in the channel. That's what you want. That's the Sporting Lisbon Victor Gyökeres, which we knew from last campaign. Storming, marauding type runs in those channels, in those spaces, putting back lines under pressure. Martinelli, well won back by Rayan. Tell you what, that boy, not going to be at this World Cup, but the next Copa, the next World Cup, you can expect him causing all sorts of problems on the flank for Brazil. Such a talent. So much quality already seen. Got a lot of Brazilian quality in the Premier League right now with Estevao and Rayan. Tavernier, tough take with Saliba draped all over him. The rondo there between the Arsenal players as Rice finds Gabriel at the back. As much as they've had some injury problems this season, Arsenal, most importantly, those two centre-halves have been available. Skelly nicks that ahead of Rayan. Martinelli now. What can the Brazilian produce? Left-footed ball. Threatening nobody. That should run out of play for the Bournemouth throw and has done. Loose pass. Not even Madueke. Now look, if Rayan gets ahead of Skelly there, we could be talking about a different situation. Could be a Bournemouth counter-attack, but instead the young Englishman got there. I still continue to put the pressure on. Ben White. Teasing ball for Madueke. Dangles it in there. Hill away. Tavernier turns out of danger. Ben White has to play catch-up. Tavernier past 2. Fantastic from the Englishman. Picks up a knock for his troubles. Scott out to Rayan. It's Ryan on the inside. Karupi once again runs into the Gabriel brick wall. I'll tell you what, Bournemouth are getting to the lines quite easily, but it's when they run into Saliba or Gabriel is where these centre forwards have had trouble. Rice. Gyökeres. Dangling foot from James Hill was enough to dispossess the big Swede. It's already starting to become quite open. Some fans encouraging their team still. True fair. Christie. Bournemouth have shown their ability to defend and also to go forward so far. Teasing ball from Hill. Just out of the reach of the Brazilian Ryan. David Raya quickly back underway to his countryman Martin Zubimendi. And that passes away from Ben White. And I'll tell you what, Martin Zubimendi's had a bit of a stinky start to this one here. It's been quite lax with possession and not being that great in the 50-50s. Senesi, great toe poke to find the midfield conductor in Alex Scott. Marcos Senesi. Nice little drilled in ball. Ryan Christie now. Oh, great ball. Clever around the corner for True Fair. It's dinked in. It's Junior Creepy! Bournemouth take the lead! And it's Junior Creepy again! The teenager has the answer for the Cherries. It's 10 goals in the Premier League for Junior Creepy. And the cheeky Cherry strike again. How dangerous is Eden True Fair on the left-hand side? It was a great disguise ball to find him. And, well, the ball takes a nick. But it's the man. Right place, right time, Junior Creepy. So dangerous. Christie, look at this ball in behind. Weighted to perfection. True Fair puts it in. Takes a nick. It's off Saliba. And there is Creepy to tap home with the back stick. Cherries in dreamland. And it's 0-2 similar for the Gunners at home versus Bournemouth. They trail once again versus this such dangerous side. They fear nobody away from home, the Cherries. And they take the lead on hostile territory. Spectacular Croupy. And brilliant Bournemouth to start this one here. Gunners is all over to you now. The best return for a teenager in the 2000s now for Junior Croupy. Gee, Bournemouth always get it right. You lose Solanke, in comes Croupy. What an upgrade that is. You lose Semenyo, you've got Rayan. And I tell you what, the tension is palpable at the Emirates. £10 million from the French division, and with the first attempt of the game, the Cherry strike. That's how dangerous they are away from home. I said it. They've done it at Old Trafford. They've done it at the Bridge. They've done it at the Emirates. They've caused City all sorts of problems. They've caused Liverpool problems at Anfield. They fear no man. I told you at the start of the game, that left-hand channel for Bournemouth, always so dangerous. Can we talk about Ryan Christie's ball in behind? Disguised masterfully. And the weight, perfection. And look, they get lucky with the nick off Saliba, but you've got to be there to put it in the back of the net. That's what Croupy did. I was looking for the instant response, but Senesi disrupting the play. Alex Scott played himself into a bit of trouble there. Declan Rice winning that ball back. Gyökeres. It's off Jimenez and out for a corner kick. On the 20th minute mark, here comes the first corner. Don't want to do more of this anytime. You can see Jimenez head in hands when he gave away the corner. That's sort of the threat that Arsenal pose. The first of the game. It's been about 3 weeks since Premier League fixtures now for Arsenal. So what have they produced in that time on the training park? To be a Declan Rice right-footed in-swinger. They crowd the 6-yard box again. It's metal! And Havertz puts it on the top of the net. Wow. First set piece. First dangerous effort. And I'll tell you what, he takes it off Martinelli. Because Martinelli was unmarked. So was Havertz in the end. But he has to be hit the target from there. He's about 3 yards out. Maybe too much speed on that ball from Declan Rice. But they were queuing up in the box, the Gunners. And that's a poor giveaway from Senesi. So maybe just some cracks starting to open now for Bournemouth. Started the game so fruitfully. They won't want to give it away now. Havertz, that's just careless. Had a play and allows Bournemouth to reset from the goal kick. There's also the danger of the lunchtime kickoff. I mentioned it a lot with these games. Teams can be a bit sluggish, and Arsenal haven't looked at their sparkling best. Yes, they're a team that don't always force the issue, but even for their standards, this is quite pragmatic and pessimistic. I've mentioned it in the broadcast. United are the only team to come to the Emirates this season and get a victory. It's not an easy place for any team to go and play. Bournemouth know what it's like. They did it last campaign. I'm not afraid to do it again. Skelly finding Havertz. Now Martinelli with Jimenez slipping. Oh, what a tackle from Hill. He's been almost faultless in this one. He finds Krupi, the goal scorer. Able to turn and play Marcus Tavernier. The Cherries playing themselves out of trouble whenever they get themselves in it. And that's the level of control which you need in a game like this. Hill. Showed too much of that to Declan Rice, and he'll gobble that up any day of the week. Finding his partner in crime, Martin Zubimendi, as he approached the end of his debut season in the Premier League. He won a winner's medal around his neck, but right now it's not going to plan. Skelly. Back to Gabriel. That's asking a lot of Declan Rice and too much of the Englishman. He just tells his team to calm down, settle it down. I think he's been the shining star in this Arsenal side. Rice and Madueke have shown some quality. A lot to be questioned about from others around him. Tell you what, a team who's smiling from ear to ear right now was Manchester City watching this one. They've got the massive game versus Chelsea tomorrow. Want to bounce back after their 3-0 defeat at Everton last time out in the Premier League. So that's going to be a tasty one. Ahead of next week's massive game between City and Arsenal. Havertz, that's just so poor. And the crowd responds to it because that's just careless. Arsenal played between the lines perfectly, but then gave the ball away like that. And so Mendy gives it away again. But so does Scott. So Havertz again. Can he redeem himself? Yes, he can. He finds Victor Gyökeres. He's got the Argentine Senesi all over him. And Michael Oliver thinks that's a foul, which I don't quite agree with. So set piece time for the Gunners. You know how good they are from corners. Can they replicate something similar here from a set play? Jimenez just questioning whether he goes over to close Miles or with Skelly. So it's Rice again. Gabriel and Saliba, as always, are the major targets. It's more of a floated ball. Not fully dealt with. Now it is from True Fair. And as far as Miles Lewis Skelly. Madueke, well, he's run out of play, I think. And he has. He's tried Madueke, but just lacked that final product in this opening 45. Arteta continuing to try and get behind his troops. Win probability 46% in favour of the Gunners, 30% for Bournemouth, 25% for the draw. Be surprised that the draw's not higher. In this situation here. Senesi. Into the feet of Aiden Truefair. And he got that pivotal cross into the box for the Krupi goal. Tavernier bundled over. Throw-in, says the referee, Michael Oliver. So halfway through the first half, one attempt each on goal. Havertz heading over from close range. Krupi tapping into the back stick to give Bournemouth a lead. Zubimendi wins that one back. Havertz gives it away once again to Alex Scott. He finds Jimenez, and he's got some space to run into now. Here's Ryan, who takes on Lewis Skelly, and it's Krupi again. Oh, dangerous block from Gabriel. That's a poor giveaway. Christie nips in ahead of Kai Havertz again, who's careless on the ball. Not reacting quick enough. Ryan looks to whip in another ball. Jimenez, the give and go. It's almost dropped the way of Junior Krupi. Gabriel sends it out of play for a Bournemouth throw. Bournemouth playing the flanks fantastically. Krupi, oh, skull bound as well. Gabriel, the man of the moment once again. If they go into half-time only one goal down, they'll be thanking Gabriel and William Saliba that they do so. Because those two have been rock solid at the back. Evan Ilse and Krupi could add two apiece right now. Long throw for Bournemouth. Met by Saliba. Tavernier up. Krupi away from the Zubimendi challenge. In the end, Zubimendi covers off well. Maybe Arsenal a little bit sluggish from the Champions League midweek. And now, quite ironic, Arsenal fans complaining about time wasting already. From a team that are the kings of taking forever over set plays. So James Hill will look to launch this one back in. Quite the long throw, but Ryan just says, thank you very much. And releases straight away to find Declan Rice, who skips past Scott. And what a challenge from Ryan Christie, because Gyökeres was through. Fantastic from the Scotsman. He produced that fabulous disguised pass to find Truefair for the first goal. He has been everywhere, like he always is. One of my favourite Premier League players, Ryan Christie. Workmanlike, but talented at that as well. Truefair. We approach the half-hour mark in this Saturday lunchtime kickoff. All the energy, all the excitement at the Emirates at the kickoff, but sometimes that excitement can be misplaced and it's turned into a lot of tension and a lot of agitation amongst the Arsenal fans. Just ask Liverpool fans, they know that too well. These type of games, these type of kickoffs, with City chasing, gets quite nervy at times. The camera pans to Eberechi Eze on the bench, and I feel like he's the man to change this game, in particular with the poor performance so far of Kai Havertz. You look to Eze and you think, yeah, that's the man. Krupi. And Ryan's touch. That's poor from the young, talented wide man. Skelly can't get the ball in play again. Bournemouth doing very well to cover off any of these throws. 3 attempts in the game so far. 2 to the Cherries, 1 to the Gunners. Most importantly is the big number on screen. 1-0 in favour of Bournemouth. Arsenal have shown signs of fight back, but the quality has been lacking in key areas. In particular, this area of the park here, the middle. Lewis Skelly away from that Christie challenge. Now, Noni Madueke. Skipping inside of Aiden Truffet. The Frenchman winning that ball. Oh, fouling in the process. Does he get the ball? Does he get the man? Has a nibble. Gets to the man before the ball. Arsenal fans understandably asking for a card that was never warranted. So another set play for Declan Rice. Basel Skelly wanders over to it as well. Does he have a look at this one with his left foot? Or was it Declan Rice's right-footed outswinger again? 15 to play in this first half. Bournemouth in the ascendancy. It's going to be Rice, and it's going to be to no one in particular. Goal kick for the Cherries. Don't want to start with the permutations yet, but they're running in my head right now. What happens if this result stays as is? Another poor giveaway from Zubimendi. Look at the response from the Emirates crowd. Christie gives it away as well. Who can hold the ball right now? It's a bit of hot potato right there. Rice. Hooked ball around the corner for Ben White. He can't control it. Allows Truffet into it. He finds Evan Nilsson. Bournemouth keep the ball. And they get dangerous in these situations here. Tavernier on the inside. Tavernier still. Rayan. Look for the return ball to Tavernier, but couldn't find him. Havertz. Into Rice, who's always got his head on the swivel and got himself out of danger there. Ben White. He also coolly turns out of danger. It's Martin Zubimendi. No one really presenting to him. Gyökeres bundles himself over. The Jimenez challenge. Tell you what, there's not much in that at all. Gyökeres has almost gone to ground before he even touched it. Another Arsenal set play. Does Mikel Arteta make the change at the half, or does he wait to see if this side can change anything in the second half? Martinelli, haven't seen much of him in this first 45. Declan Rice took a nick. Now for a corner kick. Lacked the ferocity in the effort that it was required, and in the end it was Evan Nilsson or Christie or Hill. Take your pick. You had their foot in there trying to make the block. So Madueke overtake this corner. The Gunners' second of the half. 33rd minute. Towards a near post. Doesn't get past the first man in there. Is that handball? It is. It is a handball. The arm was up. It was so close. They're going to have a look, I think. On first reaction, I thought handball, but how close? Oh, it's out from the body. It has to be handball. It's a case of, again, distance versus unnatural position. It's definitely unnatural. Gee, straight away, it's confirmed. Wow, wowee. Is this the turning point? Handball against Ryan Christie. And now it's a spot kick for the Gunners. And it's Victor Gyökeres to step up and take it. Is this a massive turning point in the title race? Out of nothing, a penalty kick. He's converted his last 5. The big Swede. He successfully got his country to the World Cup only a week or so ago. It's Gyökeres versus Petrovic. Gyökeres puts it in the back of the net. Gunners level. Out of nowhere. And there's the Mar celebration. And they're back level. Do they deserve it? Absolutely not. Have they got it? They sure do. And sometimes that's what champion teams do. They just find a way. Side netting, what a finish from Gyökeres. Never a chance for Petrovic. Went the right way, but power, precision from the Swede. And we're all level. 10 minutes before the interval. Arteta loves it. Those Arsenal fans love it. They needed that. The tension was just boiling over, you thought. So Ryan Christie's gone from 0 to 0. Made that fabulous pass in the lead up to the first goal. And then it was his handball that led to the penalty for the equaliser. Krupi. Does this wake Bournemouth up? He had a bit of a sloppy period before that goal. Crossfield pass, looking for Tavernier, but Ben White dealing with it. The Emirates is lifted. They need it to. Can be sure Arteta's lifted. He's always up on the touchline there, barking orders, demanding more from his team. Throw goes the way of the Cherries. Truffert over to take this one. Flick from Tavernier. Evan Nielsen. Fouled by Saliba. Pull of the shirt, says Michael Oliver. Quick check from VAR on that penalty. They were adamant and agreeing with Michael Oliver. Be an interesting talking point. Always is one when Arsenal play, it feels like. I think Bournemouth will feel hard done by. I feel like they're a team that will often get hard done by. Tony Ariola's always feel like his team's been done short. They're not the big club, not the big name, so sometimes they get things that go against them quite harshly. That's a great whip. Too much whip, though. So straight in the hands of David Raya. Probably last season that doesn't get given due to how close to the body the ball is. Great win for Miles Lewis-Skelly, who feeds in Gyökeres, but Senesi across well. It's a corner kick for Arsenal. Fabulous challenge from the Argentine. Essentially picking up form at the right time of the season in preparation for the FIFA World Cup. Didn't actually win the ball, Senesi. Big Argentine came flying in. He pointed the ball, got nowhere near it. So another Arsenal corner. Can they take the lead in this first half now? Rice and Petrovic quite comfortably claims. It's demanding someone present. But Arsenal cover off well. The balancing to the last 10 minutes. 1-1 is a fair scoreline, but Bournemouth have had quite the quality and shown quite the damage in possession. It's just that last sort of 5 to 10, they've been quite careless on the ball and given Arsenal a way back into this one. Which I reckon if they had had their time back, they would have regretted. Senesi into Krupi, who was the goal scorer. And his momentum's carried himself into Martin Zubimendi, who's felt the full brunt of that one there. And he fizzed that one in to Krupi and he couldn't do much but to keep going into the Spaniard. It's a great nick from James Hill, who keeps it really well. True fair, Christie, Hill. Great football from Bournemouth. That's a great ball. It's fine, Evanilson. Evanilson! Oh. Tried to catch David Raya out, but that left-footed shot just lacked the power needed. Once again, though, the side can play. That's well won by Ryan Christie. Trying to make up for his earlier error. Advantage Bournemouth. Here's Scott, who took it on. And over the crossbar in the end. But once again, Bournemouth, the man-to-man press high up the pitch can catch anyone out. Even Arsenal. Zubimendi, well, that was just not good enough there versus Christie. In the end, I can't tell if that was a shot or a cross from Cook, but sorry, Scott, that was not good at all. They've got Tyler Adams on the bench as a real bruiser if they need to bring on that type of player. But I mean, Adley's got the speed, so they might look to him, especially with Ryan not often trusted to play at a full 90. Thought to play in this first half plus some stoppages. Is there one more twist in the tail in this first chapter of this tie? Senesi out to meet Kai Havertz as he's done all day. Madueke, true fair, fighting away with him and winning the ball, but Michael Oliver deeming that to be a foul. No foul there, says the referee. So take your pick. I probably thought the Kai Havertz one was a foul and the previous one wasn't, but hey-ho. Christie around the corner and keeps it. And bundled over from Zubimendi. Christie really has won that midfield battle. So it's been Rice versus Christie, and those two have been fantastic for both their two football clubs. Set play for Alex Scott to set up. Senesi and James Hill wander up alongside Ryan, Evanilson, Krupi. Scott floats that one towards the back stick. Ryan wins first contact. Repelled by Arsenal. Ryan with a flick on. Havertz just chucks a foot at it. White heads away. Madueke and Scott going at it. Throw the way of the Cherries. So true fair on this near side will get us back underway with a throw. He was the man that sets up that first goal. He was the man all season has been delivering for the Cherries. Krupi with a crossfield switch. It's sent Jimenez back a good 20 yards. That loose pass. Spaniard crossfield hit, looking for Evanilson. Saliba reads it well, but repels it as far as Junior Krupi on the edge of the D. Zubimendi all over him. Winning that ball back, but Senesi wins position back in the favour of the Cherries. So Alex Scott now. Good little spell here in the last 5 minutes from the Cherries. Trying to enforce the issue onto Arsenal. Tony Ariola, though, keep asking more from his players. He wants more from them. That's more quality on the football, as all Spaniard managers probably do. Christie, Truffet. Sets the task for Evanilson. He goes to tangle with William Saliba. He goes back to his goalkeeper and Raya sends it up into the lunchtime sky here in London and out of play in the end. A bit of an unsettling finish at the half for Arsenal. As they started the game almost. Bournemouth winning the 50-50s and causing some problems with their possession. So on the stroke of the 45th minute, here come Bournemouth from a set piece. Alex Scott and Marcus Tavernier have a conversation about it. But Scott looks at him and it's his. So he's going to be Alex Scott. Right-footed ball. In swinging. Oh, missed everyone. It just looked like it was going to be destined for James Hill's head, but in the end, it misses him. It was devilish. Just too much on it. James Hill couldn't jump high enough to get on the end of it. So 2 minutes of stoppage time, probably for the 2 goals scored in the first half. That doesn't mean much outside of that. Arsenal, they responded well after Bournemouth had the great opening quarter of an hour. Creepy finding the opener. Gyökeres from the spot, the equaliser. But the final moments here have been in favour of Bournemouth. Too much on that Tavernier pass. David Raya ridiculously asking for a foul. More the ball for Bournemouth, but more attempts for the Gunners. One of which has also come from the spot. So, they haven't been the best today, Arsenal. But they'll take the 1-1 scoreline going into the half. They're going to need more in the second half. I think they're going to need Eberechi Eze. Christie. He's bundled over. But by his own accord, says Michael Oliver. So, Ben White. Great back heel to keep that ball alive, but Tavernier gets a foot in. And Madueke looked like he just sort of threw himself to the ground, but Michael Oliver saw a foul. This could be the lifeline Arsenal need. I don't think he actually... Yeah, there's nothing in that at all. Arsenal players, I'm known for that, just throwing themselves to the deck. But Michael Oliver hasn't had his wits about him in this first 45. So the last chance of the first half, Declan Rice stepping up to the plate. It's going to be Rice again. More float onto that one. Oh, Ryan had his foot up in the air, which is dangerous in the box. Scott away. And that's half time. Nothing separating the two sides. Bournemouth played the better football. And thanks to Junior Krupi scoring his 10th goal of his campaign. Put Bournemouth in the lead in the early moments. That happened on the 17th minute mark. But Ryan Christie's hand was away from his body. And that led to an Arsenal penalty. A spot kick which Gyökeres put away. That's why we're left at half-time with 1 goal apiece. Arsenal far from their best. Bournemouth are showing patches. But I think on the balance of things, we are level. So all to play for in the second half. I'll take a quick break and I'll be back for second half action very, very soon. All right, ladies and gents, second half action not too far away. Players are back on the pitch, getting ready to go. Interesting first half. Let's make sure things are copacetic here on our end. You can see what happens though. Does Mikel Arteta make some early changes? Does Andoni Iraola make any early changes? Have to wait and see. So far, I don't think anyone new is on the park. Arsenal have carried some stragglers. Kai Havertz, Martinelli, Zubimendi in particular. Outside of Miles, it was Skelly, Madueke and Rice. And obviously the two centre-halves. Not much really been delivered by the Gunners. Well, we're underway. Second half action. We are, as we started, one apiece and level going to the second half. Bournemouth doing the defending first and Marcos Senesi being found. So the Cherries with their change. Blue and black strip kicking from left to right in this half. The Gunners, they are in their home red strip. They got it kicked off from right to left. It was Eli Junior Krupi opened the scoring in the 17th minute. Response, however, later by Victor Gyökeres from the spot in the 35th minute, however. Bournemouth had their moments. They probably owned the first 15 in the last 5, but in between that, around the half-hour mark, onto the 40th minute mark, it was all Arsenal. Arsenal have played much better football than this, but they've also played worse, so it's always hard to read them. Such a strange side to watch at times, in particular in the recent history. Never really know what to expect. Here's Kai Havertz, who dropped much deeper than what he did in the first half and already has made an awful mistake handling that ball and then stopping the restart. Not been his day today, has it, for the German? Senesi, a floater, dealt with by Ben White. Cushioned header for Madueke. Looks to flick his on. True fair in the way. Alex Jimenez. Ryan. This is what Bournemouth showed in the first half, an ability to keep the ball and keep possession. Most importantly, keep Arsenal defending. When can your opposition not score? When they're defending. So, it's worked so far. Ryan, he's had half moments and half chances. That's all X-Factor players tend to do. They have moments. Senesi, really been impressed with his game so far. Been impressed with his second half of the season. Injury problems last campaign. Obviously, the emergence of Ilya Zarbani at the back was a big talking point with alongside Dean Huijsen. So he missed his chances last campaign. But hasn't he been great coming back into the fold this campaign? Tough first sort of 6 or 7 weeks, but since then has been fantastic and delivers dangerous balls like that in between the lines. It's dealt with, but almost turned into a pass for Kai Havertz in behind. Wasn't for James Hill coming across to intervene. Truffet. That's careless from him, unlike him as well. Andoni Iraola always wanting more from his players. Always nervously walking up and down the touchline. Doesn't give much away with that facial expression and posture. Look, they used to have a chance for Europe on the line. As we currently stand, another draw for them. It'll be their 6th in a row. They got equal in points with Brighton and only 3 points back of the Bees in that final European position as we currently stand. Once again, though, the Bournemouth pressure has caused all sorts of problems there. Raya holding his hands up. But they went man-to-man again. They did this in the return fixture around Christmas time where they try to press Arsenal in and put them under the pump. And it's strange. They do it against the big sides and then don't do it against some of the smaller clubs. So we watched Bournemouth earlier this campaign, actually even a couple of weeks ago versus Sunderland. They didn't enforce this man-to-man press whenever the back line got the ball. But they do it against teams like Arsenal and United and Chelsea, and they tried it versus Liverpool. Hill, great intervention there, denying Gyökeres that run in behind. And Jimenez can run into the open space and find Junior Krupi. Oh, great touch from Havertz on the ground. But Lewis Skelly, in the end, sweeping out the legs of Junior Krupi, so Michael Oliver deems that a foul. Englishman on the Frenchman. Yeah, he's absolutely cleaned him up. That's going to sting tomorrow morning for the young 19-year-old. As it currently stands, Arsenal will go 10 points clear with 2 extra games played. Meaning that it could be 7 points, even 4. If City beat Arsenal next weekend in a win versus Chelsea. But that's often too many repercussions for that. Let's just focus on today's game. That's a great ball to find Ryan Christie in behind. Dinked ball looking for Krupi, but Raya off his line smoothly to come and collect that. Bournemouth have a few numbers caught up the pitch now. Hazel Skelly wanted to Bemendi, but Krupi covered over the passing lanes there. Raya fisted that into Ben White. To be fair, up to meet William Saliba. They have really enforced this high man-to-man press, haven't they? But this is the man that can play out of one. Declan Rice. Wants a return pass from Saliba. Frenchman doesn't oblige. There's Eberechi Eze and Leandro Trossard getting themselves ready to go. Havertz. Now Martinelli. Haven't seen much of him. Maybe not to his own fault. He hasn't had the ball come out here much. Havertz. That will be the man most certainly being replaced, and I expect Martinelli to be replaced as well. Here's Noni Madueke. Trufa getting all over him. Wearing him like a glove. Great defensive header there from Senesi that gets it away. Bournemouth can come away now with Tavernier. And Evan Nielsen gave up the run. Ben White, Tavernier with him. Want to make up from that error. Cut back looking for Havertz. Rice. Corner kick. And the Emirates crowd rises of one. Once again, Declan Rice making that late run to the edge of the box, as all good midfielders do. And Max Dowman's getting himself ready as well. So, could be a triple substitution here for the Gunners. Arteta has gone to the bench a lot in recent times and has brought them back from behind a lot of periods of time in this more difficult run they've gone on. Just think back to last game versus Everton at home. Max Dowman, the hero that day. Gusty wins. See the corner flag blowing in front of Madueke's face. So Tony Madueke. In swinging ball. Petrovic deals with it. And goal kick in the end, says Michael Oliver. So then here come the substitutions. Eze, Trossard, Dowman. You expect the three behind Gyökeres ought to be replaced. So it is going to be Kai Havertz for Eberechi Eze. Madueke for Dowman. And Martinelli for Trossard. So Junior Krupi, 19. Arsenal raises them a 16-year-old in Max Dowman. Trossard so dangerous in these type of games. I thought Madueke did some good stuff, but his final product wasn't quite there. The other two, they were just plain awful in this one. So no surprises there. Alpha Nilsson's been set a task to go and battle away against his countrymen. Those two tussling. There is 16-year-old Max Dowman. Will it be his day yet again? It's 35 minutes to play. 10 played in this second half. As they're back from that calf injury. You can see how up to speed he really is. But Arsenal need him now. This is why you spend the money to bring the big players in. For these type of moments when you're chasing a goal, chasing a game. You need those X factors. You need those game changers. Great take from Ben White, who feeds Declan Rice, who's owned that centre of the park. Oh, David Raya almost giving that straight to Evan Nilsson. In the end, it's comes to number 9 now to play for a goal kick. Just chaos. Travella pass from your goalkeeper. That's just idiotic. That's why he's not Spain's number 1. Because as much as he's probably got the highest ceiling of any Spanish goalkeeper, the consistency of the likes of Unai Simon and Co are better. And that kick goes straight to Georgi Petrovic. Moment of madness from David Raya. Once again, Gabriel beating Evan Nilsson to that one. Raya with the long, searching crossfield pass. And the wing continues to push that one straight into the hands of the other opposing goalkeeper, Georgi Petrovic. Senesi. So Bournemouth look to play out again. Deflected pass. Ryan gets there first. And I've got a stoppage. That's not ideal. I was a little scared. Thought it was nicked. No, says the referee. Scott. Ryan. Jimenez. Challenges Scott to get to that one. He's met with Saliba. And wins a throw off the Frenchman. So, time for James Hill and time for the long throw for Bournemouth. Probably one of the best at it in the Premier League alongside Michael Coyote. They're all up for this one. Can Arsenal be at Arsenal? That's the question. Hill. Senesi trying to get first contact. And away goes Max Dowman. Trufair with him. Trufair beating him. Great closing speed there for Maiden Trufair to shut down the young 16-year-old's legs. Just Mandy battling away with Tavernier, sorry. Tavernier has a chance to turn. He was found by Senesi. Now Trufair. Oh, another really dangerous ball into a dangerous area, but no one was there. Bournemouth continue to show they've got a bit going forward. I don't know why Ryan gave up his run. No one went to the 6-yard box. Could be a massive chance missed for the Cherries. Krupi nor Ryan got to the back stick. That was almost certain tapping if they did do so. Not sure about that. From Bournemouth. Great case of them and their front line switching off. Trossard setting Gyökeres a task. And that kick quite smartly brought down by Ryan Christie, who battles away. Him and Krupi just playing keepy off in there for the moment. Fantastic skill from those two. No surprises there, though. Arsenal fans rise. They sense their team just needing a little bit more energy here. Substitutes not able to really make an impact as of yet in their infant stages on the park. Bournemouth having 60% of the ball in the second half. It's felt that way as well. Rand keeps the ball alive. Gabriel across in front of Evan Nilsson once again. He's had the helpless task of continuing to run and offer options, but to no avail. Here is Eza. Can he impact a game that's not a North London derby? That's the question. Right tackle by Truffert on Max Dowman. Crossfield ping, looking for Trossard and finding him. Great take. Try the special. And Jimenez was there every step of the way. And he's won the ball off Trossard. So here comes Alec Jimenez. There's runners all alongside him. Trossard's tracking back. Jimenez goes to the ground. Mike Oliver says, get to your feet, son. Massive wasted opportunity. Why did he go to ground? He had Krupi with him. He had Ryan with him. Tavernier and Evan Nilsson, and just put himself to the ground. Bournemouth, massive chance, goes missing. Trossard. Jimenez now has to get back. Declan Rice, Trossard. Wouldn't this hurt Bournemouth? Took a nick off Ryan. Away from Hill and well away from Krupi. Jimenez only just getting back. That's really, really poor from him. Arteta wanting more. And quite fairly. They've been slow to start the second half as they were the first. Just need to get their foot in the ball and start bopping it around. They need to overcomplicate it like they're doing here. Saliba. White. As you can see, once again, Bournemouth man-to-man. And as such, Arsenal have no way out. So Raya plays now, finally, to Saliba. Fans growing frustrated. That sense of pressure can get a little bit overwhelming. And that's where mistakes can creep in. Great take from Senesi. Chest control from the keeper's kick and feeds in Christie. What a game that those two have had. Tavernier hasn't really had a pretty stamp on this game. Surprising. He's a man for the big games and the big occasions. Just hasn't quite got it right in this one. Truffert. Dowman across to meet him. There is now vulnerability on this right-hand channel, especially with Dowman in the 11. Not as defensively solid. Doesn't matter work out who you replaced. Trossard goes to ground. Then goes to ground again. And then that time he's tripped by Ryan. Has a bit of a laugh about it, Ryan. Lack of chances here in the second half as we approach 20 minutes of it. Spent more time with David Raya on the football than anyone else. Jesse once again winning that aerial ball. Now Miles will skill under some pressure. That's the feedback to David Raya. He seems a little bit rattled off that Travella pass that was misplaced. Scott couldn't get that ball under control, so Arsenal back with it. Can they play through this time? That's much better. Saliba. But again, that pass there for Saliba has to go forward. Gyökeres is in, and he scored. It's offside, yeah, I thought so. All the way across the world, I could see that one. He's well off. Don't know why he hasn't pulled the flag there, the linesman. That is just ridiculous. There's letting it play out, and then there's whatever the fuck that is. This is a waste of our time. Agitation is probably the emotion I'd be saying is surrounding 80% of the fans in this Emirates Stadium right now. And Arsenal are playing themselves into some trouble here. They've gotten away with it in the end. This feels like the Arsenal of 2 seasons ago. Just mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. Look, it's the Arsenal of the last 3 seasons in terms of the lack of intent, but it's the Arsenal of 2 seasons ago with the just error after error, and again they've given it away. Tavernier. Christie with great footwork, and oh! Right, Christie, that's a rocket. Just though, always rising and over the crossbar. Bournemouth fans happy though. That was moving at some pace. David Brooks getting himself ready. I like that substitution a lot. Oh, gee. Christie and Evan Nilsson both closing Zubimendi. But yet still Raya played to him. And Arsenal continue to look long and just give it away. Senesi around the corner. Bournemouth are absolutely on top here. Tavernier with the run. He's found by Truffert. They've got to make this count. So there's a massive 5 minutes here for the Cherries. Look at those fans rising the away end. Arsenal are under the pump and they're under the cosh. They cannot play out. Bournemouth first corner. Can they do something with it though? I think Arsenal are rattled. They just do not have a way right now to respond to this man-to-man press. Once again, shows to my point that if you actually take the game to this lot, they really do struggle. Low ball from Scott. Worked around the corner from Krupi. And it was a training ground drill that just never worked out. So here comes Jimenez. Dangerous diag. And that's just sent 3 rows back. He's had a really tough game, Jimenez. Lacked a lot of quality. See why he was let go by AC Milan. So again, forced long. So Zubimendi just gives it straight to Alex Scott. He's had his own ball in the second half, it feels like. Scott. Ben White wins the ball, says Michael Oliver. Rice away from Christie. And looks to find Eze. It reaches Trossard. Jimenez in well. And again, getting a foot in. Rice. Rice tees it up. Rice! Ooh. Corner kick. Bournemouth mistakes. Allowing Arsenal forward. And Petrovic does get a tip on it. Declan Rice sucking in the big ones. He's done a lot of hard work today. He's shown his quality. He can hold his head up high. What do they got from this corner? Gabriel looks like some sort of animal charging at the back post. Doesn't actually get to him. Lewis Skelly. Body's in the way. Repelled by Jimenez. So subs the clock now for Bournemouth. With 20 to play. I'll call on some of the reserves. Tyler Adams on for Ryan Christie. Ryan off to allow the introduction of David Brooks. So the armband changes places, and in comes the American, Tyler Adams. He's finally back fit, which is good for the World Cup coming up for the host nation. And David Brooks on now as well. Here's the armband. Declan Rice looking to launch this one in as a long throw. He's the head of James Hill. Falls away Ben White. Then Gabriel. Still Gabriel. Finally, Bournemouth got a foot in. Arsenal have got numbers up the pitch here, so chance for Bournemouth on the counter. Eza, what a challenge. Went side by side with Jimenez and won the ball back. And Jimenez fouling. An advantage played. Well refereed by Michael Oliver. Trossard chops inside. Trossard. There was Skelly now. He'll get across to close that chance down. So Mendy back to Gabriel. All of a sudden, momentum changes hands. Lewis Skelly. Mendy on the outside. Rice now in the pocket. Lewis Skelly, center of the area, space to shoot. Doesn't oblige. On the right-hand side now, Max Dowman's there. Dinked it. But out of play. Goal kick for Bournemouth. Jimenez has made a couple mistakes here. And that was just being bullied by Eberechi Eza. He needs to be replaced, I feel like. Looks to be the one weak link on this park for the Cherries. So Arsenal have doubled the attempts, but the exact same amount on target for either side. 2 apiece. Nelson drops in to pick that ball up and then feeds Tavernier. He's just growing into the game. That's a great pass to feed in True Fair. Krupi's in the box. David Brooks on the back stick. Taking a nick. Falls away of Junior Krupi. Junior Krupi. Tyler Adams. Now Scott. Never looked likely. Part of Bournemouth again. Chances are plenty. Adams strike. Massive intervention from Trossard. And then Areola pumping your side up. They'll still believe. No, 100% believe. They've done it this time last year, 2-1 at this place. They know how to win these massive games. When all seems lost, they'll find a way. Another poor giveaway by Jimenez. Straight back to Miles Lewis Skelly. Eza past 2. Goes to ground and Michael Oliver says, none of that, sir. So we're refereed. Tavernier's chest control. Allows Ben White into the game. Tavernier fouling Zubimendi. Christian Mosquera getting himself ready. Is it for Ben White or is it for Miles or Skelly? That's the question. More threat in the air. Jimenez winning that ball back. Tyler Adams, fantastic touch under pressure. Jimenez again has played himself under pressure. He needs to go. Has to get off. Couple 3 p.m.s coming up. Brentford Everton. One of those. The lineup's coming out on screen. Also at 3 p.m. is Burnley Brighton. And then later this evening, Liverpool Fulham, the late kickoff. Oh, great touch. Here comes Scott! Bournemouth in front! Woo-hoo-hoo! It's Alex Scott! The young superstar! Puts the Cherries in front! And guns down the Gunners in the Emirates! Advantage Bournemouth! Advantage City! Title race back on! What a move from the Cherries! Scintillating stuff Oh, it's spectacular. They just keep playing football. Brooks drops it in. Evan Nilsson, deftest of deft touches. And from there, Alex Scott, pick your spot. And he did it so well. Zubamendi once again, poor, caught out, flat-footed. And it's a young Englishman who continues to prove, well, he should be on the plane to the US. Picks his spot, and Tony Ariola's pumped. Bournemouth in front. And they continue to prove they are the giant killers. Old Trafford, the Emirates, Stamford Bridge and Anfield. They've done it all. And they'll do it again. And that's what they're doing today. The unbeaten run looks like it's going to continue for the Cherries. And this time, it might be all 3 points. What a move and what a finish from Alex Scott. Zubamendi off and probably deserves to be axed after his game so far. Wide off for Mosquera, and Gabriel Jesus comes on as well. So it is kitchen sink time now for Arsenal. They need to go for it. Gyökeres spinning away from Truffet. Mosquera just off the bench. Return ball for Dowman. Just too much on it. Alex Scott away. Finding Tavernier. Ben White out of play. So yeah, Rice out of play. Let's come off Tavernier. So 2-3 PMs to come. Good watch Brentford Everton. That one's on a beat. Those two chasing that final European place in 7th. Brentford not the best team at home in recent times. Everton, one of the best travelling sides in the Premier League. To be fair, pulling back Dowman, and at last, the first slice of cheddar for this game. So true fair in the book. What do Arsenal have of their sleeves? How can they respond? 15 minutes to go. Landed a Tross on his left-hand side. The goal scorer, Alex Scott, faces him up. Set back to Weza. Great disguise ball for Gabriel Jesus, who holds off Tyler Adams. And then Trossard, heavy touch. And a play for the goal kick. They've managed these type of moments well, I thought, Bournemouth. When Arsenal pack numbers in the box and they look dangerous in these sort of positions, they've dealt well. There it is, as it stands. 9 points with City 2 games in hand, and the biggest of which is next week when City play host to Arsenal. If City go perfect the rest of the campaign, and this result stays as is, City win the title. Gabriel. Could pick up the yellow card. Sportsman-like foul, if you would. Just delaying the restart now. That's what they need to do, Bournemouth. Just try and halt the momentum as much as possible. But more importantly, don't just go on your shell. Eza picks out Dowman. Doesn't take it on. Crosses instead. Petrovic came. Gyökeres! Massive miss. Wow. What has Petrovic done here? Got a catch. So corner kick. Dowman will take it. Pressure building now on the Bournemouth back line. 79th minute. The 6th Arsenal corner. Left-footed Dowman in swinger. Dealt with by Senesi, like he has done all day. Tavernier comes away with it. And Gyökeres fouling Tavernier, and that's a yellow card for him as well. So 3 yellow cards in a minute and a half. Gyökeres incensed by that. I thought it was relatively clean. Yeah, I think that's a coming together. That's nothing more than that. I think Declan Rice actually is the one that fouls Tavernier, but what do I know? Got a stoppage here. Looks like for Gabriel. Just needs a bit of a touch up on his forehead. It's an eyebrow. So, just for the moment, is Arsenal with 10. The Areola chant can faintly be heard from the away end. Those Bournemouth fans in dreamland. True fair. Mascara across to him. Dowman also. And he's run that out of play. Mascara to take the throw. That tension's turned to agitation. Now turned into disbelief almost from the Arsenal fans. Back with Eza. He's giving it away to Evan Nilsson. And here come Bournemouth again. Brooks. Krupi. Great challenge from Gabriel. That's sort of been a summary of their day, Arsenal. They've given the ball away at important moments. They made mistakes at important times. And that's another mistake there from True Fair. The clearance is fast and Nessie, though. He might not take many of the headlines, but he's probably been my man of the match. Tavernier, he's just grown to the game as it's gone deeper. Approach to the corner flag. Areola try and change it by any means. Look at those Bournemouth fans. Look how engaged they are. As I said, who would have thought 2 seasons ago, or even 3, before Andoni Areola got here, they would have been having these type of away days. Potential for back-to-back 2-1 wins at the Emirates for the Cherries. If that doesn't warrant Europe, I don't know what does. Mascara's taken his fair share of yards on the touchline there. And if you don't mind, Senesi with a little Ronaldo chop. Scott fouling Eza. 2 Englishmen coming together. Dowman. It'll be teenage time in the latter portion of this game here. Raya. High and long. It's a great take from Gabriel Jesus. But runs into the True Fair brick wall. Tavernier. If Bournemouth can keep ball, that's a massive advantage. Brooks. First touch got away from him. Sees Eza pick it up. Marzo Skelly. Slips in Gyökeres. Jimenez with him every step of the way. Corner kick Arsenal, their 7th. As we tick into the 84th minute now. Rice again. We'll whip this one in. Tension building. You can almost feel the football world's eyes all just on this game here. Rice. That's been punched away from Petrovic. The ball almost dropping into the near post. Rice again. Petrovic comes and punches well this time. Dowman picks up the scraps. 20 yards out for Eberechi Eza. Dowman. Couple step overs. Cuts inside. Dowman. Back onto his right foot. Good block from Brooks. And like Scott couldn't keep that ball alive. So here comes the substitution. It's going to be Tot. So the Hungarian on for Krupi. He scored a goal in the first half that gave the Cherries the lead. But this finish here from Alex Scott added to the scoreline and gave Bournemouth the lead once again in this second half. Krupi has put together some game as that fluid midfield attacker hybrid role. Alex Tort coming on in his place. Excited to see what the Hungarian can do in the last 5 minutes. So Mascara's throw. Running Gabriel Jesus. Just see how many stoppages we get added on in the second half. Hasn't been crazy. Maybe 4 to 5. Dalman. Trying to wriggle away from True Fair. Pass broken up by Alex Tort. Bevan Nilsson runs into Miles Lewis-Skelly. Trossard trips up over it. And then Evan Nilsson hacks his legs out from underneath him. Played himself into trouble and then out of trouble. Trossard. As we approach 2:30 in the UK. Header from Gabriel, tipped over from Petrovic. It is advantage Bournemouth, advantage City. Dalman continues to cause some problems, chopping one way than the next. 87th minute, Arsenal's 8th corner. Pressure building on this Bournemouth back line. Can they stay resolute? Gabriel comes short. In the end, he goes to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Eze, edge of the area. Rice has time to pick his spot. Great block from Senesi again. And he just hoofs it up the pitch. Eze, great take. And holds off Alex Tort as well. Great work from the former Palace man. That ball's us a lot of Dalman, and it's behind for the Bournemouth goal kick. The time continues to tick for the Gunners. Takes a touch off Brooks. So out for the Arsenal throw. 88th minute now. David Raya, who's been a man of all sorts today. And again, moans and groans from the crowd. They want him to get rid of it. They want it out of feet. They want to play with some intent, Arsenal. Trossard. Now Raya goes along, searching for Victor Gyökeres. He finally wins a 50-50. But Tyler Adams can win that loose ball. Brooks can't keep it in. Time keeps ticking away, though, for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus dropping in. Almost giving that ball away. Fluid would be a nice way to say it. It's a bit chaos now, the positioning from Arsenal. Gabriel's up the pitch. Gabriel! Oh, Jimenez across! What a challenge from Alec Jimenez! That is massive from the Spaniard. Oh, I've been critical on him all day. That's almost a goal. Senesi gets wrong-footed. Jimenez from nowhere wins the ball, taken out in the process. Fantastic from the Spaniard. I thought Gabriel was in for all money. Bravo, Alec Jimenez. Not his day, but that moment, that's all him. He's taken some personal pain for it, been clattered in the process, but it takes more seconds off the clock and denies Gabriel a certain goal. So Bournemouth remain 2-1 up. Final few subs now for Bournemouth. So Jimenez off. That's your last action. That fantastic challenge allowing Adam Smith, the skipper, on. Enesu now replaces Evan Nilsson. So Turk comes on. And the veteran Smith comes on at right back. So 5 minutes to be added on. No surprises there. Could have been 6. Wasn't to beat. Miles Lewis-Skelly's gained himself 5 yards or so on the touchline there. And throwing that out of play. Mistakes continuing to creep into Arsenal's game. So more seconds, more precious seconds tick away. More head shaking, more heads and hands. More bemused stares from Arsenal fans. Saliba rises ahead of Enesu now. Tort wins that loose ball. Hill up the pitch. Chase that Unal can't quite win. Saliba into Rice, who's now sitting deepest. Saliba. Tort with him. Fantastic from the Hungarian. Bournemouth continuing to press. No matter what the score. With Skelly. Into Eze. Declan Rice. Can he progress the side forward? Fans demanding it now. Dowman. Eze. Dowman. True fair with him. Rice. Header for Gyökeres. And that's behind. Goal kick. Don't know what they're demanding for. There's nowhere near anyone else. Well, actually. Does it come off Adam Smith? It might do, actually. I'll take that one back. Bournemouth fans in fine voice. Great to hear. Travelling support from down south. That loose ball's now ended at Tavernier's feet. He took it on. Wasn't a million miles away. Arsenal keep it alive. Here's Gyökeres. Always wide. Not good enough from him. But is anyone surprised with that? It's a big opportunity for him. 2 chances down the last minute, and he's wasted them both. "90 seconds now for the Cherries. That man, need to keep his head after this season if they do it again. If they somehow win nothing again. James Hill rises. Jesus, Gyökeres. That's come off Jesus, but he's going to chase it down. Corner kick. So, last minute of action. Arsenal corner kick. Raya up. No surprises there. Declan Rice again over another corner kick. Rice in swinger. Scott away. Out as far as Eberechi Eza. Rice now left-hand channel. Oh, no. The stream is gone down. Of course it has. Now Rice. What have we got here? What have we got here? It's just freezing at the most important time. Oh, no. Oh, no. I think we're back live. Fans at the exits. And that's it, you'd think. So Petrovic over it now. Adams has one out of play. Trossard. That is full time. Arsenal are the bottles there again. Arteta and Arsenal drop more points. Advantage City. If City now win every game the rest of the season, Arsenal lose the title again. Bournemouth do it, and they do it brilliantly. To their young superstars, Junior Krupi, and then in the second half, fantastic from that Englishman, Alex Scott. They show class. They were the better side today. Arsenal no good. A 2-1 loss. All eyes now go to tomorrow. If City win versus Chelsea, boy, we have a title race back on in the Premier League. Arsenal fail to do it again. City right behind them. And when the pressure rises to the top, Arsenal sink to the bottom. The Gunners gunned down with the Cherries. 2-1 here today. And Andoni Iraola masterclass. Back-to-back 2-1 wins at the Emirates in the last 2 seasons. His side seek Europe. Whilst Arsenal, they seek refuge. Thanks for a great stream, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Napoli-Parma in tomorrow's live stream on Super Sunday. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.